consider the problem wey shippers dem dey face, visit we office for number 4 Otuba Yodele Show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468. Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting for the port of Nanid.
Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane at Papa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. All right, Maritime today is the program we set for the conversation this beautiful Wednesday morning. But quickly taking you through the roads. Those of you making the journey to the island, even though the Third Milan Bridge is looking very, very good, but making your way to the Third Milan Bridge might just be a little challenge somewhere around Ifako. All right, so that one is receiving attention from the Okiodo end. Movement from the toll gate heading towards Abule Egba is looking pretty good to go. Approaching Ilekpo and Oja is slightly busy. From there, linking up with Pleasure and Abule Oki is good. Reaching out towards Yanokwaja underneath the bridge is slightly busy too due to bus stop and commercial activities. Yanokwaja connecting Ilezik is okay as well. Ajayi Farms to Ikeja Long National is also okay. Airport bus stop to Bolade Junction looking pretty good. And the rest of the journey, I can tell you, towards Moshlash is also very, very good as well. All right, a return journey, not bad at all, even as we speak right now. Let me see if I can save you more from traffic managers. We did tell you that at Mile 2, there's a report of an accident between two trucks at that's underneath the train station inwards Maza. I understand many on ground are waiting the tow truck. I hope that should have been sorted out by now. Those of you coming into Lagos on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway still having it good. No major worries. And we can tell you on the Ikorodu Road as well, intermittently, you have some areas looking slow while others are looking good as well. So we'll be sending you more helpings as they come in from time to time. All right, so on Maritime today, first off, let's take a detour to have the latest news. And Taiwo Barua will be taking us through that. I'll bring you the latest gist in the maritime domain.
All right, in the maritime news this morning, the Nigerian Shippers Council, NSC, has appealed to a coalition of truck owners and maritime workers to suspend their planned strike over extortion allegations leveled against them, against the Lagos State government. The strike, slated to begin today, will see truck owners withdraw their services from the ports in protest. The NSC's appeal was made during the meeting with the team of the Association of Maritime Truck Owners, AMATO, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, MWUN, and the Nigeria Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO. The Council's Executive Secretary and CEO, Dr. Akuta Pius Ukeima, represented by the Director, Inland Transport Services, Mustafa Zubairu, said that the Council has received complaints from AMATO relating to consistent harassment and intimidation of their members by the Joint State Task Force. Speaking on behalf of the union bodies, Mohammed Sani Bala, Secretary AMATO, highlighted The key demands of the truck owners to include disbandment of the Lagos State Committee on Removal of Abandoned Vehicles and the Special Traffic Management Committee on Enforcement at Apapa, unconditional release of all trucks impounded by the aforementioned committees or any related state agencies, and the permission to remove amateurs' trucks in the event of breakdowns in line with an understanding already reached with the National Towing Vehicles Operators Association. Comrade Adewale Adeyoju, the President General of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, expressed the readiness of the labor group to work for a lasting solution to the challenges faced by truck owners. The council's intervention is aimed at preventing a shutdown of port operations, which would have severe economic implications for the country. In another news, the managing director of the Nigerian Port Authority (NPA), Dr. Abubakar Dansoho, has called on traders and investors to explore the newly simplified export processes and vast business opportunities available at the NPA. Speaking during NPA's special day at this year's Kaduna International Trade Fair, Dansoho assured stakeholders that the NPA remains open to partnerships beyond the trade fair. As part of its effort to strengthen the domestic economy and promote a favorable balance of trade, NPA has established port processing terminals to streamline the previously cumbersome process of exporting Nigerian goods. According to Dansoho, the EPTs serve as a one-stop shop for cargo consolidation, stuffing documentation, packaging, certification, and onward shipment through an electronic call-up system. This initiative eliminates bureaucratic bottlenecks that previously made Nigeria export less competitive internationally. And finally, on the news, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has reaffirmed its commitment to fostering a level playing field and creating an enabling environment to boost the growth of Nigeria's maritime sector. The Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Dayo Moberiola, made this known while receiving the executive members of the Nigerian Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport Senior Staff Association. He emphasized that under the supervision of the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, led by Honorable Adegboyega Oyetola, CON, NIMASA is taking strategic steps to enhance local participation and encourage investment in the industry. Dr. Moberiola revealed that NIMASA is deepening its collaboration with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, to explore policies that will boost indigenous involvement and strengthen Nigeria's maritime sector. The Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy is committed to encouraging indigenous players to invest more in Nigeria's maritime industry. Issues such as national carriers and trade terms remain top priorities under his administration. Our focus is to create an enabling environment where private investors can thrive. In this regard, we have initiated discussions with the NCDMB and NNPC Limited to address these critical matters, he stated. In his response, Secretary General of the Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport Senior Staff Association, Comrade John Alekwe Opono, emphasized the need for closer collaboration between NIMASA and the Merchant Navy. He also urged the agency to review waiver clauses to ensure more opportunities for Nigerian seafarers. NIMASA remains committed to fostering strategic partnerships that will enhance local investment, create jobs, and drive sustainable growth in the maritime sector. And that's the maritime news this morning. Thank you for listening. I am Taiwo Barua.
Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos. Or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Nigerian Shippers Council, they to serve you well. No matter the problem, we go solve them for you.
Yes, so the Nigerian Shippers Council, they feel in a parole now for every level. And as soon as goods, they move from port A, go enter port B, with a measure within on a need. For the Nigerian Shippers Council, we don't sharp proper to fit hear you wella, work with you wella, and help you fit serve your customers them better, no matter where them day. As we country port economic regulator, the Nigerian Shippers Council get every now to fit make government consider the problem when shippers them they face. Visit we office for number 4 or to buy your daily show your daily. Papa, email us for nsc@shipperscouncil.gov.ng. We website now www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng. Allow us on top 0818-888-8895 or 0703-584-6468.
For you, we dey gidigba, gidigba, eh.
Nigerian Shippers Council with a meeting now for the port of Unanid.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This is Maritime Today, and of course, we set for the conversation this morning. We were hoping to, branch first to reflect on the national single window, trying to connect with the chairman, Nigerian Ports Consultative Council, but that ain't falling through. But quickly, let's just reflect a bit on some current happenings within the industry. You heard in the news there of the intervention of the Nigerian Shippers Council to try and avert a strike which has been called by the truck unions that we have in the maritime sector. I'm talking about the Association of Maritime Truck Owners and, of course, allied truck associations within that industry. So this morning, let's connect with them and also hear from them, really, what are the grievances confronting them and what do they think will be the way forward. Joining us on the program this morning, I have Richard Udoka. Of course, he's a prominent member of the Association of Maritime Truck Owners and is connecting with us on the phone line. Mr. Udoka, nice to have you join us. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
And how are you doing?
I'm good.
All right, so confirm for me, is the strike that has been called by Amato, is it on right now?
At the moment, it's not on.
It's not on. All right,
Yes.
so let's dwell a bit. What are your grievances? Why are you calling for a strike?
Yes, our grievances are very clear. There are committees that are set up by the Lagos State government. One of them is the Lagos State Committee on Removal of Abandoned Vehicle, and then another one, the Lagos State Special Traffic Management Committee and Enforcement Team.
All right.
APAPA.
All right.
Their activities have become very challenging and a menace to our industry and our means of livelihood.
All right, so let me just come in at this point. If you say it's a challenging one and more or less constituting like a menace, I know back then when this committee was introduced, all of you embraced it with a warm handshake and you said it was doing good.
Yes, as at that time they were following the SOP, the standard operating procedure. But I think the people running it now are more or less like they run it in a rogue form, and we are not comfortable with it.
Okay, so talk to me, in what way? In what way are they running it like a rogue form?
Yeah. For example, the Committee on Abandon, there's an SOP, a standard operating procedure, how they should carry out their activity. If you say a vehicle is abandoned, what does it mean? An abandoned vehicle, to our mind, according to the SOP, it's a vehicle that probably broke down on the road for multiple days, and then nobody is coming to care for that vehicle.
Right.
And in such a case, the the committee is supposed to go to the vehicle, perhaps place a sticker there demanding that the vehicle should be removed for perhaps 24 hours, 48 hours, or 72 hours, as the case may be. And the failure to do so, you can now term the vehicle abandoned. You come with the instrument of the government to remove it so that other people can have free flow of traffic around that axis. But what we have now is vehicles that are moving or on the traffic, on the line, headed to the port. They go there in the middle of the night, pull down the drivers from the steering, sometimes beat them up, and put those vehicles away and turn them abandoned vehicle.
And can you confirm that these are officials of that particular committee?
They are not in denial. It's not in denial. They are with more than 100 vehicles that belong to our association and sister association as we speak. And that is the bone of contention. We need an unconditional release of those vehicles. And aside from the port access road or the port area, they go to warehouses where our members go to offload these goods in the wee hours of the night. I can recount an incident that happened to me personally. Yes, somewhere in Morrison, Oregon, a driver of mine took a consignment to the warehouse. He came down from the steering. This was captured in camera. He came down from his steering, knocking on the gate for the security people to open for him so that he can drive into the warehouse, as if he was being followed. All of a sudden, this was captured on camera. And they go with lots of hoodlums. They invaded the front of the warehouse and cutted away with the vehicle. And the next thing, they slam charges to be paid in private accounts.
Not paid to the government?
No.
Okay, so let's
ranging from 200,000, 300,000, or 400,000.
So
that has been what they have been doing. They go sometimes into the streets in Amuwadofi, in Mautu estates. They go to cut away people's trucks in the middle of the night.
All right, so let's put it in perspective.
Drivers are there waiting to ingress the terminals where they are going to do business.
So Richard Udoka, let's put it in perspective now. So how many of Amato's trucks have been seized by this task force that you're talking about?
We can't even count it. It's a daily occurrence. Sometimes some days 10, 15, some days 20. In Amuwo, as of 2 weeks ago, they took about 45, 50 trucks in one night. And they go there with, I don't know where, a society where government officials work with street ushers, area boys.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We're still going to be hearing from the committee as well. We'll try and see how we can connect with them. But you are alleging that these committee members, they are not operating according to the SOP, which is the standard operating procedure that has been agreed. So what is the standard operating procedure? At the time they came on board, what agreement did your association as well as other committee members have with this association or with this committee?
Yes, if I may understand you, or if I may put it this way, you see, when there are challenges, sometimes we even run to the government. What do we do? This is beyond us. And then they come to our aid, setting these committees alongside with us, okay? But when these committees get rogue, it also behooves on us to speak out in the maritime trucking industry, okay? We were having challenges of vehicles, our members. Yes, sometimes some of our members, especially those that are coming from maybe outside the state or whatever, okay? They litter the road with these trucks and all of that. We appeal to them, remove and all of that. When it became a problem, we called on the government. And with that, if you watch, since last year, the access road to Tinkan, from Mautu to Tinkan, it's very clear for everybody to access now. People go to work from Mautu, Agbara area, down to Tinkan with ease. The free flow of traffic there, of course, it is our collaboration with the state that we were able to achieve that.
All right.
Okay, and all those vehicles were removed. And the abandoned team also, at some point, they also played a role. But what we are saying now is, if there are no abandoned trucks, let this committee be disbanded. They have served their purpose.
Okay, so Richard
And at the
Amuka,
moment, they are becoming a nuisance.
right? So Udoka, let me also bring this to you because I know we've spoken with the Comtour before, the Council of Maritime Truck Unions and Associations, and they did tell us that we have non-state actors who are also involved in extorting of trucks within that port access corridor. Can you confirm that to us as well?
At the moment, there is nothing like that. After that operation that we did as a union under Lagos State, headed by Alhaji Lukman Zakalo, after all of those clearance, and then also with conjunction with Lagos State also, we raided our streets of those extortionists, especially the non-state actors.
So you can confirm now that,
Yes.
that all the way from Agbara heading towards the port now, you do not have those non-state actors anymore.
Yes, at least not as bold as they used to be. Now, perhaps in the middle of the night, some group of boys that street urchins can gather together. If a truck happens to slow down or something, they use their usual talk for water. And if the driver doesn't give them, he goes his way. They are not as confrontational as they used to be. That is the truth.
Okay, so considering the fact that you've had this kind of challenge, have you been able to speak with the Ministry of Transport or perhaps the committee? Have you had any dialogue with them?
Yes, we actually made our grievances known to them, and the PS, they are actually looking at it from their own end, and I believe we'll come up with a solution that is that will be beneficial to everyone. Just like I said, if the mandate given to the abandoned group has been, their task has been completed, I think the reasonable thing is that they should be disbanded. And then we have a lot, especially in that Apapa axis, we have a lot of duplication of functions. You have the road safety there, you have the VIO there, you have the LASMA there, all this, you have the police there, and then the traffic arm of the police, they are also there. Of these people are geared towards controlling of traffic.
Right.
So which one is again committee on traffic management, committee enforcement, or Apapa specifically?
Right.
I think it's all of this multiplication of functions and duplication of functions that is causing the whole of this confusion.
So you feel that that committee should be disbanded?
Immediately. They serve no purpose. At the moment, they serve no purpose. If the mandate for a committee being set up has been achieved and completed, kudos to them. They can now go home. Yes.
Right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96. Right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. This morning on Maritime Today, we're reflecting on trucking operations, especially the call for a strike by the Association of Maritime Truck Owners and other allied truck unions within the maritime sector. We're looking at the implications for cargo shipment. Just give me a little bit, Richard. Mile 2 corridor, we did tell you that there's an accident between two trucks, and that's underneath the train station inwards Mazamaza, but I understand men on ground still trying to deal with that, and I hope the tow truck that has been called should have been there to also respond as well. So we're tracking that one as well. Within the Ogudu and the Alakpere end, just before Alakpere inwards the toll gate, I understand that there's a breakdown of a PSP compactor which is having a mechanical problem before Alakpere. All right, so that one too receiving attention, and I hope the tow truck should have been there as well to respond to that. On the other end, heading towards the Yanowuru end, I understand there is a breakdown too. That's on Ifako. What's the latest with that, by the way? You can keep us posted on that one. All right, the Ojo-Elegba corridor, there was a breakdown there before, but that has been taken off, so it's a much better drive. Taking you through the Ejigbo corridor, Old Garage, it was Ikotu intersection, heading towards Council Roundabout, moving pretty fine as we speak. Likewise for the return journey, except for alternation delays at Ikotu intersection. From there, we can tell you inwards Ojodo, slightly slow due to commercial activities. Thereafter, inwards Synagogue, as well as Ilewe and Hostel, Sele Igbe, and Iyanejigbo, moving pretty well. A little bit slow at the bus stop due to some activities there. Movement inwards NNPC junction, it's okay, but slow inwards Jakonde Gate. Talking about the junction there, we have high influx as well as alternation delays with vehicles from Ijegu Road, which is on the high side too. Jakonde Gate, talking about the junction there, inwards Okiafa and MRS is slow, but inwards Okiafa by Randok is much better. Now, the return journey from Okiafa inwards Ikotu moving pretty well as well. All right, then, we're going to take a short break right now. When we return, what will be the next phase? And, of course, what can we do to have a lasting solution for trucking operations within the port access corridor? All that and much more will still be part of the menu. And, of course, you can join us, too, on 080-99-120-777 and 09153-877127.
Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and this morning on the program we're looking at trucking operations within the maritime domain, port access routes to be very precise, the implications for cargo shipment. And on the phone line joining us is a prominent member of the Association of Maritime Truck Owners, Richard Udoka. All right, so Richard, you did say that the strike was supposed to be for today, but the Nigerian Shippers Council, did you hold a meeting with them yesterday? Hello, Richard.
Try the mediation.
Richard, let's hear you. We lost you a bit there. So, was there any intervention from the Nigerian Shippers Council?
Yes, we actually had a meeting with them, the tripartite association, our own association, and then the MAUM, the Maritime Workers Union, as well as NATO. We were all there, poured out our grievances, and then the Shippers Council themselves, they did not just promise to step in. Immediately after the meeting, they proceeded to the Lagos State government office, Alausa, precisely, and then our leadership have been engaging, and up until this morning, we are still engaging. Well, we are actually looking at all our demands being met before the close of work today.
All right, so you're very hopeful that the strike will not hold, right?
Yes, I'm very hopeful if Lagos State does what it should do to bring sanity and to bring to bring the concerns that we brought to them through the Shippers Council, to make sure that all of those concerns are settled.
Right.
Once all of those are settled, it is in nobody's interest for us to withdraw our service. Remember that when we withdraw this our service, it affects the port by way of affecting also the nation's economy.
Right.
So it's nobody's interest. So, but what we need is to bring about sanity. Those people behind all of these nefarious activities, to be brought to be cautioned.
All right. Okay,
Yes.
we have some messages here that are coming in here for you, Richard. This one says, good morning,
Yes.
Traffic Radio. It says, will cargo be completely stuck at the ports, or will some still move if the strike comes on? You didn't put your name. Thank you so much. So if there's a strike now, what happens to the cargo at the ports?
If see, sometimes people mistake this. We are talking about withdrawal of our services. What is our service? We provide trucks to transport goods and services from the ports. So what we are doing is withholding our property because we don't want abandoned people to cut them away. So however affects the ports, we are not shutting down the ports. We are not saying that we should go to the MPA gate and lock up the government
ports.
facility. No,
Right.
we are saying that our vehicles will not ingress the port, and our drivers that are inside would not come outside from the port
Okay.
until this problem is sorted out. Because the ones inside, if they come outside, the abandoned team will pick them up for one reason or the other,
All right.
for one flimsy excuse or the other.
This one says,
So we are withholding our property
All right.
to remove our property from harm's way.
okay, this one says, Mr. Richard, what's stopping the government from investing properly in road and port infrastructure? Udo is sending that one in. Udo, thank you so much for your contribution. What do you make of his question, by the way?
Oh, the truth is that over the years, including the MPA themselves, the government, they have made some mistakes by concessioning parts of the ports to private individuals. What do I mean? These parts of the ports that were concessioned to these individuals were hitherto before now used as garages for the maritime trucks.
Okay.
So instead of increasing the facilities or improving on the existing ones, it's even been depleted. So I think the question is in order. Government has to play a key role in providing infrastructure, especially in the form of garages, multiple garages all over the city, so that the maritime trucking community, of course, it's not for free,
All right.
can use such garages on a toll basis or something like that, so that it can bring relief.
All right. So for those who
Port operation.
do not really understand your operations, Richard Udoko, just give some little time to explain to us. When you say some of your trucks have to line up on the way to the ports, and sometimes that can be mistaken for an abandoned vehicle, like you said, which the committee has been swooping on. So how does it work? Is it to say that the port operations are there delays in clearing at the ports? Is that why you have those line of trucks that sometimes could extend all the way towards mile 2?
Our trucks being on the road, these are trucks
Okay.
that have been called
To the
to
ports.
go to the port. There's an electronic call-off system that was introduced a few years ago by MPA.
Mm-hmm.
And based on this electronic call-off system, when a truck books, it goes through the park, through the pre-gates, and then once it's batched, they tell you, okay, proceed to the port. So most of the trucks, or all the trucks you see on the port access road, they have a business there with valid color to ingress the port. If you are not called on, you will not leave the pre-gates. That is how it is operated. And each of these vehicles should have or must have their color with them printed out. So as they are going to the port, at different checkpoints that have been provided by MPA or a team of MPA, police and LASMA, they check this color and give you access.
So are you saying now that
Those trucks are not there
by accident,
mistake.
right? So are you saying that even with your call-ups, the task force, they still pick up your trucks?
Exactly. Exactly. They pick up the trucks with the valid column that this truck has a business to do at the ports.
Right.
And then why are they on the line? Perhaps the system being slow, APMT low in maybe not performing optimally, or perhaps the terminals inside are congested or whatever. But then, if all things being equal, it's supposed to be that once you are being called, as you are leaving the frigate, it shouldn't take you 10 minutes to ingress the port.
Right.
If all other
conditions were met.
factors, yes.
Okay, so let's begin to round this off right now. So you are hopeful that this strike will not happen, but for us to continue to have lasting activities for trucking operations within the port access corridor, what's your recommendation? What's Amato recommending?
For the matter at hand, our demands are simple. Disband these committees that are plaguing us. Then number two, our number two demand is that all our vehicles that have been impounded to be unconditionally released to our members so that we can continue our business. And then the last one is, even if a vehicle breaks down on the road, our members should be given the right to use our towing vans or stipulated towing vans to tow our trucks. There is nowhere in the world where a vehicle that breaks down on the road is seen as an infraction. It is only in Lagos State.
Okay.
A truck will have a challenge, perhaps maybe a bus tire.
All right.
You clear in a lay-by to fix your vehicle. A towing van sent by last man and its agents come to take your vehicle to their office, even without causing obstruction. And then they slam you charges that you should pay a fine for your vehicle being broken down, as if it's something you orchestrated by yourself.
All right. So we'll
We
leave it
don't
at
need that anymore.
yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that for now, Richard. You've made your voice heard. We also get in touch with the committee operatives to find out their own point and, of course, their own side of the story. It's nice hearing from you, Richard. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, then. So on
You guys are doing a great job.
Wonderful. All right. So on the program, we'll be able to reflect on trucking operations, the call for strike, and the implications that might have on shipment of cargo. And we'll be able to speak with the Association of Maritime Truck Owners to have their viewpoint on this particular subject. We have to go. The program has been produced by Taiwo Barua. I say a big thank you to our social media team, Okpeyemi Shodinke, Remi Aloko, Afe John, and of course, Deborah. We say a big thank you to all of you. In the studios this morning, Wurola Olagoke. Of course, our executive producer is Taya Akonle. I want to say a big thank you as well to Rebecca Adamu, Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council. You can always connect with the Shippers Council on all their platforms at NG Shippers. My name is Victor Oteri. I'm out. Stay very much within. Bye.